Hey, my name is Rob Weiss. I am a therapist. I'm an expert in the area of digital media and human relationships, human intimacy, and sex addiction. I've spent a good deal of time thinking and writing books for men and women who struggle with intimacy disorders of this type. And one of the more challenging populations that I've had to work with, and I relate to it because I too am one of these folks, is gay men. So when I think about sex addiction in men, I don't really differentiate a whole lot in my head between gay men and straight men because they are men first and then oriented to whatever they're oriented to second. So, for example, the underlying emotional relationship and social challenges that may lead a man to sexually act out are pretty much the same whether you're gay or straight. Something's going on emotionally, something is dysregulating. If you're acting that out through sex, it really doesn't matter which gender you're seeking. The feelings in men before, during, and after sexual acting out really are the same whether you're straight or you're gay. Any pre-existing struggles that person might have with intimacy or self-regulation or social engagement are going to be the same. They may come from different sources, but the emotional pain and the challenges underneath are really the same for gay and straight men. One of the things I have to say that always amused me is this idea that gay men have so much more sex than straight men do. And the reality is that I think they probably do, but not because they're gay. It's because they're having sex with men. We have more sex because we are going out with people, men, who don't care as much about whether they get flowers or romance or chocolates or a call the next morning as many, many women do. Women want healthy intimacy as a part of their relationships. Men are not that interested in it. So when you have, unless they're out there looking for an intimate long-term relationship, when a man's looking at someone and they think they're hot, gay or straight, they're usually thinking more about sex than do you like me? And so when you have men looking for men, it's much easier to have objectified, non-relational sexual experiences without there being a lot of caring or intimacy unless that's desired. And that's just kind of baked into being a guy. So if you give it a little bit of thought, you know, the venues that a gay male sex addict or a straight male sex addict will go to seek anonymous or objectified sex is really, these places are kind of similar, and as I run down them, I think you'll see this. For example, gay men go to online hookups like Craigslist, and heterosexual men go to online hookups like Craigslist, and gay men use app-based hookups like Grindr, and heterosexual men use app-based hookups like Tinder. And gay men go to bathhouses and sex clubs, and straight men go to strip clubs and massage parlors. Gay men go to bars and clubs, straight men go to bars and clubs. Gay men have one-night stands, straight men have one-night stands, and both act out when they're on the road traveling, and sometimes they have sex with each other. So it's hard for me to see a real difference in the internal motivation or the external experience of a gay guy who's out there looking for sex or the straight guy who's out there looking for sex. Pretty much they end up in similar environments that really are just different based on who you're going to find there, but the environments themselves and the experiences are pretty much the same. So one of the things that I think I've worked hard to make clear to you is that gay men and straight men, when it comes to sexual acting out, are really looking for the same kind of thing. You know, they're looking for a quick, easy, emotionally distanced high through their sexual behavior. And really, it doesn't matter whether you're gay or straight. You're not necessarily interested in meeting that person the next day for breakfast or calling them. You know, you're kind of interested in doing what you're there to do and getting it over with. And casual sex is a hallmark of sex addiction in gay men, and certainly we see it in a majority of heterosexual men who are going to strip clubs and sex clubs and, you know, all the places where they find their anonymous casual sex.